It's dirty trucking. I'm at home. It's 4:50 a.m. It's Monday morning. My family is in a crisis. Both me and my son is going through something. I got somebody here at Uber that tried to end my income, cause me to get evicted or end up evicted, living like a bum, homeless, by telling a lie on me about something I didn't even do. I don't know where these motherfuckers get this inappropriate touching shit from, but that is the last motherfucking thing that should ever came out your mouth trying to accuse me of doing. And I've been trying to get the name of the individual because I want legal action against them. Because this you're not going to keep taking me through this Warren truck plant shit. Because that's what they're doing. They continuously taking me through this Warren truck plant shit over and over and over again. It has completely destroyed my family. And I'm dealing with employers or people I work for that's protecting the individuals. These individuals, they go around and lie on me and say all this crazy shit about me, has more protection by the law than me, the one they're talking about and accusing. I can't even get the name from Uber of this individual. I done sent 2 legal documents over there, which should reveal the messages and the name of the person who sent them. Nothing. It was Uber Safety that said he was going to compensate me for the downtime, request compensation for the downtime. A lie. He didn't even do that. All this shit is the exact same shit I went through in bits and pieces at Warren Truck Plant. These people are being protected by the job. Hold on 1 second. The very people I'm doing work for is protecting these people. I can't get the name of the individual that went around and told Uber that I was inappropriately touching them, making sexual comments. What the fuck do I look like saying that shit to a passenger? To now, my whole attitude has changed about Uber. I don't even want to deal with Uber right now. I don't want to deal with Uber, period. I don't even want to deal with ride share. I don't want to be involved with that shit. Because it was all nice and dandy, the thought of being able to just come on out of trucking to get into a nice, relaxing job, doing somewhat of what I used to do as a bus driver and what I used to do in my early days, just ride around in a fucking car and get paid for it. An idea I talked about years ago that Uber done turned into $1 billion business. Ain't that some shit? Uber done turned an idea that I used to talk about years ago. All I used to do was ride around in the car. I said, well, shoot, hell, I'll just ride around and get paid. I used to talk about that years ago. Uber done made it $1 billion business. But let me try to make this $1 billion business. Shit. I wouldn't even got his half as far as Uber. Sorry, trying to get my burger going when I make this video. But my family is in a crisis. My son is going through something. I'm going through something. To where my son made a foolish mistake today and he called himself manning up in my face. And I don't play that. You're my son. I'm not your boy. I'm not your friend. And as he told me, we mother and son. We not in a relationship. Claim I talk to him like we in a relationship. Yeah, mother and son relationship. I don't talk to my son like he in a relationship. My son keeps everything hidden from me. What he's going through, what's happening to him. been lying to me about how he living. But what hurt me to heart is when I saw on TV they had some new housing built here. It's on TV. Said some of them going to be low-income housing. I know my son was looking for a place. I said, this sounds like it'd be perfect. Sent him over there to put in an application. What I do that for? They played some game with him, like they do me. Sent him a notification. Said he was approved for a studio. They was going to give it to him from 9 something. He was all excited. Talking to me, well, now I need a TV. I got to get this rent, this security deposit up. Said he had to go down there and talk to him about something. A couple days later. Next thing you know, he come texting me. He didn't get it. So wait a minute. Didn't you just say you got the apartment? Now he telling me he didn't get it. He said, I said, how do you, what you mean you didn't get it? Didn't message say you had the apartment? He said, I made a mistake. I read it wrong. That's what these people do. If somebody here in this state call themselves playing some type of psychological game with my family, I don't know if you trying to break my family, trying to cause somebody to go insane, or maybe you trying to cause one of my family members like my son to get so broken that he do harm to himself. My son brought me to tears early this morning. I'm driving. Just dropped off an Uber passenger. I'm going down the street. I see my son's car. I see what looked like a blanket or something sticking out the back window. He's in front of a loft building. So I said, I hope my son is in there just visiting somebody. He's inside. He's not in his car. I get out. I go tap on the window. My son is sleeping in his car. Drawed me to tears. And I had a feeling that's what was going on with him. Because my son don't tell me anything. He claims I'm going to yell every time we talk. My son and I, conversation started out just as pleasant. But he likes to get his point across by raising his voice. And when now he thinks I'm yelling, now we both yelling. He gets off the subject that we're talking about and start talking about other shit. But my son is broken because of what Warren Truck Plant did. Somebody here, this has to be a doctor experimenting. I don't know what you call this shit. It's some type of psychological, mental warfare, I want to say. Because you're doing shit that would literally drive somebody insane to continuously have to keep going through this. Me, you will not break. Insane, me, will never happen. My son is angry at the way he's living. I'm angry at the way I'm living. I'm angry at why we living the way we living. And it's all because of Warren Truck. Everybody say take accountability of your role in this. What role did I have in causing myself to be homeless? What role did I have at Uber when a passenger said I was inappropriately touching them and making sexual comments? What role did I have in that? Because I seen there was a commenter on my YouTube talking about you ain't to blame for nothing, is it? Ain't nothing ever your fault. No, stuff is my fault. Yes, there's some things that's my fault. But when it comes to this, ain't none of this shit my fault. I fought long and hard to get help, to put a stop to this, to get my rightful place back at Warren Truck, or either a settlement for what they done. Never happened. People has destroyed my family. And these people that is doing this to my family seem to be protected by the law. I found out today my worst nightmare was true. When I rode up and saw my son's car, tapped on the window, and he was inside, sleeping in his car. He didn't get the apartment that was supposed to be low-income housing, and he should have qualified. My son not making that much. But he said it was something about the previous apartment he was with. See, my son don't tell me everything because he think I'm going to yell. I'm like, not telling me anything is not helping either. Look at you now. You sleeping in your motherfucking car. And that's what these people were trying to get me to do. See, I don't have no car. I don't have my semi to run to if I end up homeless. But that's what they are trying to do. And Uber placed that passenger in my car by pinging my phone with that passenger, and I picked that passenger up, and that passenger did that. Had I not got a ping from that passenger, whoever it was, the passenger would never got picked up. But see, this is the games they play here. If it wasn't a passenger doing that, they'd have come up with something else to do. But my worst nightmare has come true. I told my son I wanted to come back. Me and him, he's yelling in the street, talking loud. Take your voice down. The whole world ain't got to hear your problem. He's angry. That's why you're yelling. He said, because I'm sleeping in my car. I said, but why you got to yell? Because I'm sleeping in my car. That's what he said. Somebody's trying to steal his car. When my son first got his car, he stayed downtown Detroit. My son was doing pretty good. He was working at Greektown Casino. In the restaurant. He was a cook. Then the pandemic happened. And everybody had to shelter in place. Then when the pandemic was starting to lift, and it was time to bring people back to work, Greektown decided not to return my son. Greektown was his dream job. That boy was so excited. He was staying with me then at Alden Towers. I had to see him get up with his uniform. He wasn't as clean with it as I would like. But he was proud of that damn job. But when the pandemic ended, they didn't call him back. And it hurt that boy to heart. As long as he'd been there, the dedication he gave to Greektown, that's all he talked about. He used to work at Greektown when he parked his car over there. He said he parked his car over there. Somebody's trying to break in his car in the Greektown parking lot. Parked his car over at MGM Casino in their parking structure. Somebody's trying to break in his car. But when my son first got the car, he lived downtown Detroit in the Detroit town apartments. Nice apartments. I was excited for the boy. Told me he had got in down there. He had just left home living with me at Alden Towers. I let him stay there till he got on his feet, until we became too toxic in my home. It was time for him to move on. Found him a place downtown. I was excited. I was happy for him. Got him a car. Another car. Car he driving now. Downtown Detroit, my son, the parking down there in front of his building was horrible. They got metered parking downtown Detroit in front of his apartment building. So, due to my son's work hours, he found it hard to find a parking spot. He used to get a lot of parking tickets. But before I go into that, when he got the car, he said when he just got the car, he parked the car not far from his apartment building. Came down, somebody had bust out the window. I'm like, who knew he got the car? They doing to my son shit that happened during my lifetime coming up. With my cars. They used to steal my car. They've stolen every one of my cars, except one, when I had that Chevrolet Chevette with the hatchback that I bought from my father. They've stolen all my Grand Am. They broke into it. My Dodge Ram, stole it several times from in front of my own home. I remember when I bought my house, moved in. The welcome to the neighborhood was to look out the window and saw my goddamn brand new Dodge Ram with the 20-inch rims and a Hemi engine not sitting in front of my motherfucking house. But the story about that is so suspicious. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. They found that truck not far from where I lived. A state trooper told me, and I was wondering why a state trooper would be in that area. I never see state troopers over in that area of Beaconsfield, Harper, Somerset, those areas over there, because I believe it was on Somerset or over there. Somerset, I believe he said that's where he found it. State trooper just happened to be in the area. Said when he pulled up, he said they were just about to take the tires off. So I don't know if whoever did it got arrested or what, but he said if it wasn't for me leaving the paperwork of the car in the glove compartment, he said when he ran the VIN number, the truck was so new, it wasn't in the system. Huh? The truck VIN number wasn't in the system. And I bought it from the dealership on Mac. And I work for Warren Truck. Huh? That's what the state trooper told me. Hold on one second. I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to get that burger before I burned it. My son, I forgot where I left off, so this probably going to be I forgot what I was speaking about before I put this on pause. But my son, my car, the Dodge Ram, when the state trooper found it, said he found it. Told you he pulled up on it. He said he pulled up on it when they was trying to take the tires off. I don't know if these individuals got arrested. I hope they did. But it was kind of odd for that area over there. I've never seen a state trooper in that area since I've lived over there on Beaconsfield off I-94. Not just cruising the neighborhood. But I had just got the truck. And what I didn't do when I bought it from the dealership, it didn't dawn on me, you get your alarm on the truck. Because when I first moved in the neighborhood, I had a Grand Am, Pontiac Grand Am, money green, my baby. I paid for that car, bought that motherfucker. Got it, bought it, paid for it. Welcome to the neighborhood was to break into that car. My Dodge Ram. Another neighborhood surprise when I got that truck. Like I said, when I got it from the dealership, I forgot to tell them to put an alarm system on it. Thinking it was going to be okay. I drove it to the house, picked my son up from school in it. I pulled up in that big black beauty. My son's mouth just fell open. I was working it. Chrysler then. I don't know if they had turned to Daimler Chrysler when I got the truck. But I was at Chrysler. I think they may still been Chrysler when I got the truck. I'm not sure. I remember when they launched that motherfucker, I said, I'm going to get me one of them. I want one of the newer ones. Went and got me one. Excited. I love that truck. Day I got it, now the very next day, I woke up, looked out the window, in front of my house. My truck wasn't there. And like I said, the state trooper found it. Over there, I believe he said it was on Somerset. That's a street where, when I used to drive the bus for Smart, where a co-worker lived. On Somerset. He ain't had nothing to do with it. That's just a coincidence. Like I said, he said he pulled up when they were trying to take the tires off. And if it wasn't for my paperwork being in the glove compartment, he had no way of finding out who owned the truck. Which was odd. Because when we manufacture those trucks, those VIN numbers go in the computer system before they leave the plant. So I don't know why he was telling me a truck that I just leased from the dealership. VIN number wasn't in any computer for you to find. He said it was, this is his exact words, it was too new. It was so new, the VIN number wasn't even in the system. That's what he told me. Unbelievable. But back to my son. Stuff that happened to me over the years, growing up as a kid in my father's house, after getting grown and raising my son. They are now doing to my son. My cars were stolen. Now they trying to steal his cars. My father used to work on his own cars. Repairs, anything happened to the car. They were messing with my son's cars to where he would have to go constantly to the auto parts store fixing shit. Doing to my family what I done been through as a kid. Now, how would they know this motherfucking shit? You got to be recording my motherfucking family. When my son was a kid, I remember telling them, you need to finish school, boy. You don't want to grow up to be a bum, a homeless, the bum, do you? And that's exactly what they're trying to turn my son into. My son is homeless, sleeping in his car. But he claimed he's sleeping in his car because they were trying to steal it. He was staying at some house on Wyoming, and these young boys, or I don't know if they were grown, but it was the neighbors that was messing with his car at night. He was trying to catch them. Couldn't catch him. Said he would have to stay woke just to make sure his car don't go nowhere. They were damaging the window. My son has that tinted window shit. He showed me the marks where they're going up to the window, hitting up something against the window. They done messed up the tint. Now they messing with the rear window on the driver's side. He parks it downtown when he works at Campers Marshall's at the ice rink. Somebody's getting at the car when it's down there. Now my son tell me the parking meter lady rolled up on him one day. Blocked his car. My son tells me she done divulged to him that he got $800 in tickets. How do you get $800 in parking tickets? I said, that can't be. That's impossible. But it was the amount that flashed me back to what happened to me on Bigginsville. This is how they playing games. They are taking life events and recreating these life events now with my son. And then they're taking me back through life events that I've already been through. $800, that amount sounds familiar. After Warren Truck Plant did to me what they did, I had to sell my home. I actually found a buyer. It was a nurse and her husband. But before I sold the home, this is long before, the water company come out to the house. Said they need to replace the meter on the outside of the house. I'm like, okay, I got a card in the little box. Okay. They come out, put the little golden meter out there. It was a new meter that had the little black thing. All they got to do is come up, take that wand, and they read it. You ain't got to write the numbers down on the card no more back in the day, if some of y'all remember that. After they put I called it the golden meter because it was gold. After they put that golden meter on there, my next water bill was? My water bill went from, I think from my house over there on Bakersfield, my water bill used to be along the lines of, I want to say about $60 or something like that. Somewhere around in there. Wasn't no high bill. I ended up with an $800 water bill after they put that meter in there. I called the water company. How do I have an $800 water bill? You know what they tried to say? Tell me my other meter wasn't reading. I said, you know how long it would have to not be reading to have an $800 water bill? I said, you've been sending water bills to this house every fucking month. I've been paying them. I also actually do actual reads. My father used to teach me that because he told me about it being crooked. They'll sit up there and send you a high bill when it ain't high, and you got to do an actual meter read. So I used to do that. I used to periodically do my own meter read because they had the little circles on the back of the card where you can go slide it, do your own meter read, send it in. I ended up with an true story, $800 water bill after they put that damn golden meter on the side of my house on Bakersfield. So we're going to fast forward real quick now. I called the water company. They trying to explain, try to lie, talking about my old meter wasn't reading. You a damn lie because the motherfucker was working. You been sending bills, I've been paying them. And I asked the water company, I talked to somebody at the water company. He said, ma'am, your basement would have to have been flooded to the roof. They have a $800 water bill. I mean, constantly running. I said, I know. That's why I know something wrong. So they call themselves investigating it. Investigated so long that when that shit happened to me, Warren Truck Plant, now I done sold my house. Water bill ain't been straightened out. So per escrow during a sale, they have to pay off any outstanding bills with the house as far as the utilities and all that. So my escrow paid that $800 water bill. And I remember that when me and my son was in between housing and we were staying at a motel off of Michigan Avenue. And I think I had notified somebody or called somebody right before I went down there. Because I remember that. Wait a minute, my escrow, because we didn't have any money. We was just skating by. And I don't know if I had just found a little job. I think I just found a little job to put together some money to try to go find us an apartment so we can get out to motels. So called the water company. I go down there. I said, you had my bill under investigation. My house escrow paid that $800 bill. My water bill shouldn't have been $800. They cut me an $800 check. I got my money back. But I had to go inform somebody what that was done first before they did that. I forgot who I told. I don't know if I called downtown, somebody I called, talked to. And I went down there and I got my money back. That's how crooked and long this crooked shit been going on. So now my son mysteriously got $800 in parking tickets. How? How? He don't even live downtown no more. He works at the ice rink. And I said, wait a minute, son. When you live downtown, when I was working at Endurance, I paid all your parking tickets. You like, you did? Yes. I went online, saw all your parking tickets, and I paid all of them. All of them. He thanked me. But something funny was about that. I would go back and check after I paid all of them to make sure they disappeared off the list because they were paid. And one parking ticket popped up out of nowhere. My son didn't get no new tickets. It just popped up. And I told my son, I said, a parking ticket just popped up there. He didn't know where it came from. He thought it may have been something he forgot. No. Now that I know what's going on, that's parking enforcement downtown running something shady. It just popped up. So I went on ahead and paid it. I paid it. And then I think something else happened. Let me get the story right. I think something else popped up there. Or I paid half on it or something and told him to pay the rest. But it just popped up there. After I paid all of them, I had paid every last parking ticket he had. Because I know my son was trying to get back on his feet. He just moved in an apartment. He was doing good. He's still working at Greektown. And then the pandemic happened. Lost the apartment. They tried to break in his car. You know, with all them parking tickets. So now I'm riding tonight. I see my son's car. It brought me to tears. I'm standing in the middle of the street crying. I'm like, son, is you sleeping in your car? How long you been doing this? He said, because they trying to steal my car. I'm like, who? He said, it started with a place where he was staying at. No, first it started downtown. That's where it really started at. Somebody downtown Detroit, around the town apartments, they broke in the car. They bust the window, rather. That's where it started at. I didn't even know my son had bought a car. When he finally told me about the car, he had had the car for months. And then he told me they got broken into downtown when he was staying at his apartment. I said, the police station is walking distance from you. That building is directly across from the FBI building. The federal building is right there. You can look down the street. How did somebody bust your window out downtown Detroit that close in the area of MGM Casino? DTE Energy is right there. There's a little hotel right there. My son's apartment, the federal building, and the headquarters for Detroit police. How did somebody bust your window out downtown? But they did. Somebody's watching them. And I don't know if it's this tow truck theft ring. There's a lot of cars being stolen here in Detroit. And these tow trucks has a lot to do with it. I had a passenger I picked up. Told me something happened to her car. And she ended up calling a tow truck. But she had the key to it. So she said she went back to go get her car. And her car was gone. She said she believes the tow truck driver took her car. She had left it there. She had the key. She went back to go get it, and they had took the car. The car was gone. She believed the tow truck driver did it. A lot of that's going on here. My son advised me of a news story about some guy just got shot and killed trying to protect his car. They're stealing cars here. My son is sleeping in his car, one, because he's trying to stop it from being stolen, which would be horrific for him. My son is already struggling. He barely making any money. And now I know why they trying to do this shit to me. You just trying to make it away. My family just don't have shit. We just out in the street. What are you going to do, sit around and laugh? They've been fucking with me and my family for a long goddamn time. I was standing in the street crying because my son is sleeping in his motherfucking car. He can't get an apartment because they playing games. They trying to steal his car again. And he says because where he was staying at off of Wyoming. He said he talked to the police. He in the middle of the street. He's angry. Call the police. Call the police. What they gonna do? Help, 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 police. They ain't gonna help me. That's what he's saying. My son is now sleeping in his car. They tried to stop my income and accuse me of doing something that I didn't do. This is somebody playing some psychological dangerous game. My son is broken. He wants to leave this state. I want to leave this state. But where we going to go? You're not going to do nothing but do the same shit wherever we go. When I was trucking, this shit was happening to me over the road, on the truck. They was doing it, going through my shit on the truck. It happened every state. This motherfucker who's doing it is following us. Everything that we grew up with, they recreating. Shit that happened to me, now they putting on my son. Just because my cars was stolen when I had them, don't mean you recreate that damn shit and start trying to steal my son's car. No, what you doing is trying to completely break my son. Because I heard somebody say something around here, and I don't know if they meant for me to hear it. I heard somebody say he looked like he about to break. And I didn't know what they were talking about until I seen my son today. I cried. This is what my family, what Warren Truck Plant has done to my family. And these people here in this state won't stop. Why won't you stop? Why won't you leave us alone? Leave my son alone. Leave his car alone. Leave me alone. Let us live. Let us make what we need necessary to live. Or you want to see us homeless? Leave my family alone.